Hello and welcome on Thomas Geiger Car. Today with the second generation Mercedes GLS, the bigger brother of the GLE and the upcoming competitor for the brand new BMW X7, the Audi Q7, the Cadillac Escalade and the ever famous Range Rover. Also peeking a bit towards Bentley's Bentayga and Rolls-Royce Cullinan. Whilst the first generation was a bit disappointing and the S was just an additional letter, this vehicle should come as close to the S-Class as possible. At least that is what the Mercedes marketing is promising. If they're right or if they're lying, and how this vehicle performs, that's what we're gonna figure out on our test drive here on Thomas Geiger Car. When the GLS hits the market later this year, it will be offered with 4 different engines. 2 petrol engines and, for Europe, still with 2 diesel engines. The 2 petrol engines are the GLS 450 with a 3-liter inline 6-cylinder with 367 horsepower and the GLS 580 with a 4-liter V8 with 489 horsepower. Both petrol engines are electrified with an intelligent starter generator, adding another 22 horsepower for acceleration and, most of all, lowering the fuel consumption with better recuperation and longer sailing phases of the engine. Quite impressive what you can do with the GLS 580 with its 700 Newton meters of the petrol engine and the additional 250 Newton meters of the electric engine, accelerating this big and heavy car in just a little more than 5 seconds from 0 to 100 and bringing it up to 250 kilometers per hour. The 2 diesels are the GLS 350D and the GLS 400D with up to 330 horsepower. For the driver, the GLS really feels like an S-Class with a bit more ground clearance and a better view. The car is as big and as heavy as an S-Class, but it feels pretty agile and it has lots of different characters due to the E-Active Body Control, an air suspension with some additional electric motors on the wheels to increase the travel of the suspension, giving you the chance to curve in the curve mode like a snowboarder on a wonderful slope, and it's a really relaxed drive even with a car of more than 5 meters and more than 2 tons. You can go pretty sporty in the sport mode and very chill and relax in the comfort mode. And once you get off the vehicle or you have to load, the car lowers itself almost to the ground and you can easily access, for example, the big trunk. And if you go into the off-road mode, the car raises and has almost as much ground clearance and off-road capabilities as the famous G-Class. And since the car is so big, there is also a car wash mode, first time ever. That does not only fold in the mirrors, closes the windows and the sunroof, no, that lifts the car as well, makes the wheels go in a bit, the stance is a bit smaller, the car gets 4 centimeters slimmer, and you'll get this big vehicle into a narrow car wash. For sure, Mercedes will not stick with these 4 engines. There are already talks about a plug-in hybrid with an electric range of more than 50 kilometers. You will definitely have something in between the GLS 450 and 580, and AMG is already looking to it as well. For sure, there's going to be a GLS 63, and I would not wonder if there's also going to be a 53 model as well. And you know what? If this car really comes as a Maybach, it might also get the famous 12-cylinder engine. The interior of the GLS is pretty similar to the GLE, which is not a surprise since the cars are developed together, produced together, belonging to the same family. So all the things we have in the GLE are available in the GLS as well. The big widescreen cockpit, the touchpad on the center console, and the famous MBUX Infotainment System with the voice recognition that is as good as Amazon's Alexa and Apple's Siri. You just talk to the car, it wakes up, asks you what to do, and you can give him your commands as you talk to the buddy on the passenger seat. including features like the energizing comfort, making the car a wellness temple on wheels, and all the driver assistance systems that you know from the actual Mercedes models, making you as close to autonomous driving as the law allows at the moment. So bottom line is, for the driver, the GLS really feels like an S-Class with a bit more ground clearance. How it feels like for the passengers in the 2 rows in the back, that's what we figure out next. For the people in the first row, the GLS might be an S-Class with more ground clearance and more capabilities. But if you sit at the rear, it is more like the V-Class in a smoking, because the car is very versatile, very flexible and very roomy. So you can't only sit very comfortable in the second row, everything electric, heated seats. No, also the third row is pretty comfortable. In this case we have the 6-seater version, so you can easily step through between the seats. It's also offered with a 7-seater version that is even more luxurious, because the middle seat can be folded down and there is a tablet computer in the armrest to operate all the infotainment. Talking about infotainment, this car has 11 USB plugs to make the car the power bank on wheels for all the passengers driving it. It might not be as luxurious as the BMW X7 in its top grade, and definitely not reach out to Bentley Bentayga or Rolls-Royce Cullinan. Mercedes knows that, and it's not a problem, because there will be a Maybach version, and that, at least that's what the engineers are promising, will kick out anything out of the market that is available right now, including Bentley and Rolls-Royce. Not only for the passengers, the GLS feels like a V-Class in a smoking. Also, if you look at the cargo space, it is a huge vehicle. Maximum of 2,400 liters trunk space, and all the seats folding down electrically, making it one of the most versatile SUVs ever, or one of the most off-road going vans that you can imagine. Now you have up to 2,400 liters of trunk space, more than in any station wagon that is offered by Mercedes, and way more than in the outgoing model. The GLS impresses the people by its size alone. It is the biggest car in the passenger vehicle fleet of Mercedes. 5.21 meters in length is 8 centimeters more than the outgoing model and 30 centimeters more than the GLE. The wheelbase has been extended to 3 meters and 15 centimeters more than the GLE and 6 centimeters more than the outgoing model, giving the car a lot of presence from the outside and a lot of room in the interior. But even if you have to be self-confident driving a vehicle like that, it is not a show-off car. It looks almost sleek and slim due to its elegant design. Only a few lines giving the car its shape and its character, and it's not showing off as an S-Class, a vehicle with some style. Thanks for joining me on that first review with the new Mercedes GLS, a car that made a huge progress with the generation change. While the first generation was just a GLE with a bit of bigger size, this car hits it right at the spot. It is luxurious, roomy and versatile. It has the most advanced infotainment system with its MBUX. It has the fancy e-active body control suspension, giving that vehicle lots of different characters, and it has an interesting lineup of powertrains. Very efficient, yet very powerful, and interesting additions to come with the AMG and the plug-in hybrid. So it easily lets Audi Q7, Cadillac Escalade and Range Rover look pretty outdated, and is coming very close to the BMW X7. Bentley Bentayga and Rolls-Royce Cullinan are still far away, same as the top luxury version of the X7. But since Mercedes is planning a GLS Maybach, this part will be covered as well. So overall, this huge vehicle will be a big success for Mercedes. Thank you, Shishe, Saitian, and bye bye.